Hello, Silvaan Ruth here. This is another poem. This one is called Time's Up, Golden Globes. When I first heard of people complaining, men that won at the Golden Globes said nothing, I thought, what are they supposed to say? And then the smart-ass aspect of myself popped up and said, you know damn well they just mansplained the Me Too movement to you. My mom said, be nice. But I didn't tweet it, was a fleeting thought, got past it, and just kept thinking, what are they supposed to say? So many say it's all men's fault, yet they only just started to realize how prevalent this is in our culture. They don't even really understand why it is. So, is it? Through a myriad of thoughts, I suddenly remembered an old friend with her baby boy. She was first-time mother then. It was before the daughter came about. The boy had started grabbing any boob he could, throwing his head in the chest of friends, grandmothers, and aunts, looking at his mother's reaction. She started calling him a perv. He wasn't even 1 year old yet. But you wouldn't stop there, none do. How many times will their parents say to her daughter, boys will be boys? When he did something she would be yelled at for and told to do better. How many times will his father tell him boys don't cry, make him know he can only feel anger? How many times will both their boy and girl be yelled at for sexualized clothing or sexualized behavior they don't fully understand? How many teachers will tell girls at school to go home, and the boys, seeing this, will learn they are allowed to feel desire? Now boys know they can feel anger and desire and only ever be boys until they are men. Somehow being a man involves having power. Their only subconscious conclusion is anger plus desire wrapped in a boy's behavior equates power. No wonder men are so sexually aggressive. And why, if a girl or woman wears something that falls into the above equation, they'll say, what was I supposed to do? Putting the blame on her, like their teachers did, after assaulting her, harassing her, raping her. The whole time not knowing they can be their own person, but never knowing how to because we have never been taught to cultivate ourselves, only to assimilate to the world that is already here, never questioning because it's all we've ever known. This rise of gender equality, feminism, the idea of gender being on a spectrum, I believe is our humanity trying to remind us that underneath all the labels we are human beings. But society has structured a behavioral map that shows us how to interact based on gender, but it has yet to structure a behavioral map for us when it comes to interacting with someone based on the fact that they are a human being. It's time that we start writing the definition for ourselves. But how do we do it? We need to start talking about it all, sharing stories, both men and women, listening, letting men ask questions without calling into question their masculinity or blaming them. Let women talk about how certain behaviors make them feel without questioning the woman's emotional stability or blaming them. If we don't start talking, nothing will ever change. The same behavioral map will be passed down generations under the new rule that you don't talk about it. Until decades later, we get an influx of misogyny instead of the recent influx of white supremacy that was there but never really talked about or faced within society, so it festered and now here we are. So I'm not interested in sweeping it under the rug. Of course, there is more wrong with cultural conditioning than how the culturally accepted two sexes mingle. But let's start with where we are. Let's deconstruct the sexual behaviors to understand why we do what we do, why we feel the way we feel, and how we are the same, so we can better see each other as human beings. I will give you my thoughts, and the rest is up to you. All right, that is the end of that one. If you guys are interested in any more of my work, I will have some of it linked below. If you're interested in following me on any other social media-like things, then check out the links below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Seriously? Cat? I like fed her food, like seriously, 20 minutes ago. And she's getting into everything because she wants food. More food. Get out of here. Move it. I am not putting up with you. That's better. Chase her off in the freaking living room. She was laying there like, I was here the whole time. What's your problem?